Shalom to Israel, to the whole to Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreign Israelites, like the nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. When they give all praise to Barak, 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 got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, name of the Heavenly Father, who everybody ignorantly calls God. His true name in the ancient Hebrew, which is in the Rawchaa 1 Qadash. His true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of. Yahawashi is the Holy One of Israel. Everybody ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah, who was slain at the foundations of the earth for the salvation of the elect of Israel. Then you got 2/3 of the wicked Israelites here in America, Babylon the Great, and the other wicked Israelites scattered across the four corners of the earth that will come back to the loins of the elect after the destruction. Rawchaa, Qadash, the Holy Spirit that has been bestowed upon the men the Heavenly Father gave his only begotten Son out of the world to complete this work. So we always want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, let us all to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, to the hopeful elect. Lord, when we part of that number, Lord, when this be edifying our oaths, fear in the name of the Lord, striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5, it is not slack. 2 Peter 3:9 is unto a ring. 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. Shalom to all you sincere believers out there tuning in here and on after Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, or Atham. We're going to get into various end time topic lesson. Let me see. Hold up. Something happened. Hold on. Get back over here. So, yeah. All right. So, going into the title, this truth is esoteric knowledge, not to be comprehended by mere mortals. So, listening to the apostles over this last week, listening to the Apostle Barak going into, the house of Saul, house of David, going into, particular things concerning, the judgment coming on Israelites who don't understand the spirit of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. This knowledge is esoteric. So we're going to look up that word, And another thing I want to mention, when they were doing camp, they were asking ChatGPT about Isaiah 19, asking about what kind of prophecy is it? And it says it's a prophecy that is supposed to be in the latter days. So there's a reading of the Old Testament that, a lot of people cannot grasp, especially, these people, these Baptist, Christian, anti-Christ believers in the worldly churches, man. They don't really understand what it's saying. So, Lord, when it's edifying to the flock, first, we're going to look up that word esoteric. Okay? This knowledge cannot be accessed by just any kind of mortal. Okay? You have to be, you had to have been chosen by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi to understand and keep this knowledge. So, when you look up this word esoteric, it can mean a few things depending on the context. At its core, esoteric means hidden or inner knowledge, teachings or truth meant for a select group rather than the public. See, this is a family affair. This is for the elect. This is esoteric knowledge. Okay, spiritual, mystical, hidden knowledge. Okay, that's what this truth is. Now we're going to go to the dictionary and let's see what it says. So this is what this is.
Esoteric.
Intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge or interest. That's talking about the elect. Okay? That's what that's talking about. You know, this knowledge is esoteric. Now, I want to look up one more word. Find this word. Mere means basically nothing more than only, right? See? So pure absolute. Okay? So you know, there's no more than the elect that is going to understand this esoteric knowledge. That's why the Lord said, if you try to tell somebody and they don't get it, leave them alone. You know, let them die out here, because it's not meant for them to understand. This is for the elect, man. And you're going to have some Jake where they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. So they end up having some type of encounter with Esau, even the so-called white man, you know, which is the devil. And they'll try to turn to the Lord, but they still be out here lost, man. They be out here worse than before. Okay? And that's why I said this right here before we get into it. For a lot of y'all, it's better you didn't even know what the hell we were doing. For the majority of the people on the earth, it's better you didn't even figure out who we were or what we were doing, man. Because then you're going to get beaten with less stripes. But we're talking about in the time of Jacob's trouble, you don't want to get beat at all, man. You don't want to get, no, the Lord's coming back real angry. So even if you get beaten with less stripes, it's still going to be like, damn, it's going to be a fucking beating on your ass. Okay? That's why we be saying this. 2 Peter 2 verse 21. You come in this truth, your ass better not fall out. It's better you need to know what we were doing. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. So there are certain commands you're going to get when you come into this truth, into this esoteric knowledge. And if you can't take those commands, you know, then, you know, it was just better you didn't even know, man. You know, that's basically what the Lord's saying. So going back.
Got it.
To the
esoteric can mean a few different things depending on.
No, I don't want you to say it. Okay. So going back to, you know, what I'm talking about, this Jake, he has this testimony of, you know, he encountered the devil, okay, which is Esau, even the so-called white man. And, you know, you probably have some Jakes out there too. But, you know, we've been telling you time and time again that the majority of Jakes that do encounter Esau, even the so-called white man, why would you turn to Jesus when that is a so-called white man with long hair? Why would you do that? Because you know why? Because you are not part of the elect. You were not supposed to know this esoteric knowledge. So a lot of Jakes, man, out here are believing in lies, man, because the Lord didn't want them. And this is an account of one of these Jakes, man. He really thinks he knows the Most High now. And that's what's wrong with Jake. Jake don't want to get correction the correct way. There is a correct way to receive correction, and that is through the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. If you don't want to go that way, you're going to end up like this. You're going to still remain in the congregation of the dead, and you're going to think you in the truth. So let's watch this real quick. Lord wants edifying to the flock.
But you had an encounter with the devil?
Yeah, I got booked for a photo shoot. They took me all the way up this mountain. I was on top of the mountain. We finished the photo shoot. They have OD cars. Like, they got a 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. I'm asking them, like, how y'all get all this money? They're like, we do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. No, you don't, bro. I'm like, how you get this money? Don't put me on. I'm trying to get like y'all. Like, nah, we do demonic rituals. I say, so what type of demonic ritual? He say, the little man that never talked to you. I'm laughing. Still laughing at him. Why y'all playing with me? How y'all getting this money? They're like, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what? I'm like, who is that? What is you?
Right? Who is that? Everybody knows who Leonardo DiCaprio is, man. But you know, these young Jakes, a lot of them don't really know a lot more than what we think they do. So, you know, we maybe not know. But there ain't no way that you gonna be getting taken up to no mountain or no photo shoot, and your ass is just, you know, you one of these damn groupies for Hollywood. You trying to get in the game and trying to get money. You don't know Leonardo DiCaprio? Come on, man. That's what we telling you. You gotta kind of pick out some of the bones some of these people be saying. They be acting like they don't know nothing. He knows what he's getting himself involved in. Okay, but he seen some wicked ass shit. Now he's scared, so now he's trying to speak out. You know what I'm saying? So let's listen to him.
So much, yeah. He giving me a list of people who all did. I'm gonna keep it PG-13. He basically saying either you let them peg you or you do oral, and you'll get whatever you want. Tell them what you want. If you want to be the next big actress, next big whoever, I can take you to somebody. And all you gotta let them do is do what they want to do to you just for a night. That's what he was telling me. I'm like, hell no, I'm playing. So I'm still not trying to bleed it.
So he said, yeah, you playing game. You know when you in that street lingo for like somebody you know, somebody you like cool with. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody just be like, what up, gang? That's like saying like, you know, you cool with that dude. Like y'all together and on whatever the fuck is about to go down. Okay? So he knows these people, man. And right, they took him up to the mountain for the photo shoot, right? But now he's saying he served Jesus, right? We're gonna go into it. Hold on.
Now, while they doing all this, I'm trying to call my Uber. We on top of the mountain though. I don't got no service. The people who booked me left. After they leave, I'm in the car with the other dude that they called up to have a photo shoot with me. I get in the car with him in the 3-seater McLaren. See, on the way up, we go all the way up in the swivel.
Right. So he said 3-seater McLaren. I will tell you, these threes be everywhere in this shit. The 3s and the 6, they always do stuff like this. That's why you see over here is it's got 2.7K videos. All this stuff is plotted out, man. They do all this stuff to show you, you know, like how to be initiated. That's why they do it. Okay. So because you know, they are looking for Jakes to devour. It said Esau Edom is looking, seeking as a young lion, waiting to see who he may devour, man. So they have their esoteric knowledge too, on the wicked hand side. Okay, and they're teaching them how to get it, just like the elders and apostles teaching us how to obtain this esoteric knowledge. So the left hand side of the Lord has a wicked esoteric type of knowledge, but don't let Jake fool you. He knows what it is. That's why he tied it up, and he talking about gang, how you get it, gang, because his homeboy got all the money, because he did it. Okay. He talking about some nah. What are you talking about? Like everybody on the earth, unless you sleeping under a rock, know that's how you getting big in the ministry. Period. We seeing Martin Lawrence, all these niggas wearing dresses and shit, and making all these movies, Big Mama and all this shit, man. We know how they're getting their money, man. There ain't no damn secret no more.
All the way around the mountain.
Yeah.
On the way down, we take a right. Oh, he not going the same way that we came up. I'm like, what the hell? So then that's what I try. I'm like, take me to go get some McDonald's, man. He said, we're not gonna take you get no McDonald's. We spent all this money to get you up here. This face change, gang. In front of me, you see Venom, kind of like that. His face is probably about this wide. Like, face change. I'm like, what? Like it's probably about like right here. Like it threw me all the way off.
Because he was probably on some drugs. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They be getting fucked up, high, Molly. You know what I'm saying? So he probably was seeing, but we gonna show you. You know, there's another video I'm gonna do. It's gonna be going into that veil of forgetfulness is gonna be removed during Jacob's trouble, and people gonna start seeing some weird shit just like this. But sometimes, you know, Yahawah do it to warn Jake right now, but Jake still don't wake up, man.
I didn't know how to get out of the car. I would have been got out of the car. We in the 3-seater McLaren, so it's like a button you got to push to get up out of there.
Gotcha.
Now he backing into somebody's driveway. He smack our mailbox. Now he hit the button and he get up out of there. I see the button. I'm getting up out of there too. I hit the button. Guess what? It's a mailman come out of nowhere. I run up to him. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm getting back your truck. He looking at me. Yeah, no. I look at him, I'm like, bro, just let me get in the back of your truck, bro. Like, please, just take me down to the bottom. Please, just take me down to the bottom. It was God, he took me down to the bottom. And I called an Uber, and I just left. The people on camera, you ain't got to believe me. I don't care. I'm not lying. I really saw this.
I believe it.
That's what, like, made me know that the devil and God was real.
You saw the darkness,
I seen it.
and now you're in the light with Jesus.
This is why I have to use my influence for good, like how you doing.
But you had an encounter with the devil.
So this whole time, he like talking about he seen the devil, and he's sitting right in front of one of them, man. He's sitting right in front of Esau, even the so-called white man. He's saying, "Oh, now I got to be good like you, right? Serving Jesus, right? This is what we talking about, Jake. It takes something to scare the fuck out of Jake to try to find the Lord. And by the time we find him, it's too late, man. Because you too busy listening to Esau and not listening to your own people, man. And it's gonna get him killed, man. It's gonna get him killed, man. So we're gonna go into this and show you everything that happens to you is from the Lord, man. You're not getting this truth unless you really supposed to, man. This is not for all of Israel. This is a family affair. The Lord is not looking at all of Israel like, you know, we family, man. All right? It's just not happening, man. This is about the elect. We go over this all the time. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. Oh, let me type it a little bit better. And put the E. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. Man of lawlessness, right? This is talking about Esau, even the so-called white man. And our people, every time something happened to them, they go down to these motherfuckers for help, man. Because why? Because they cannot comprehend it. Because why? They are mere mortal, man. They are outside the temple, man. And it was because of whatever they did in their past. I'm talking about in a past life. Everything that's happening to you right now, and me and everybody else on the planet, we deserve it. And really, the only ones who is not going to get a full punishment are the elect. Everybody else is going to get a full punishment. That's what we're telling you. That's why we hope that we're the elect. Because if you're not, you're paying for everything you fucking did here. All right? Like, this is not a game. This is the most terrifying story you could ever hear. You know? And people just be like, oh, we'll see, whatever. Well, we're going to find out, man. This 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. And of course, it's good news to Jake. It's good news to Jake, but this is the most terrifying story for forever, man. Because when that's how you're going to be when you come in the truth. You're going to be terrified because you're going to know that he had you like on the way to, you know, paying for everything you did, man. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way, till he be taken out of the way. Right? So that's talking about he's allowing Esau even to do stuff like this to Jake. Make it where you gotta go in there and you try to get famous, you gotta do all that wicked stuff, like he said, you know, give him some top or something or get hit, right? You know, the Lord's gonna allow him to do that for a certain amount of time. So we have to, you know, be in the spirit of Yahawashi and be the ones revealing the wicked, not being caught up in it. Verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed. He's being revealed. You see how the wicked is capitalized? Because that's a specific type of people. That is Esau, even the so-called white man. And they all out here talking about Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You got your damn business owners, all your business owners out here talking about we love Jesus. And all of them have no idea that they are standing toe-to-toe with the devil, man. They're sitting here dealing with the devil, man. Esau, even the so-called white man. And most of them is our people because they just can't stand being without that bread, man. Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. What's that? The prophets. We're the spirit of his mouth. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Talking about the missiles blowing this place up. Verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders, right? That's what they do. They come with the AI. They come with all this stuff. So Jake and the McLarens and the he said he couldn't even get out the car. He said he uses a button to get out the car. He couldn't even get out the car, man. This is how they set you up, man. You can't trust these people, man. And then shall that wicked be revealed whom the Lord, now he thinking he in the light. He's still in the congregation of the dead right now. He has no idea. He has no idea what he's learning is still a dead end. Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy the brightness of his coming. Right? Powers, lying wonders. Verse 10. And with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. That's talking about this. Okay, they don't want to agree with us when we say Esau, even so-called white man, is the damn devil. They don't want to agree when we go into the Old Testament. There are still prophecies that have not passed yet in the Old Testament. Several, a lot of them. Okay, and that veil is still over most of our people. That they're thinking that just the Old Testament is just done away with. Like we're just reading it just to remember what he took away from us. So no, he's coming to establish that. Okay, that's what the new covenant is, making sure that we get everything right in the Old Testament and in the New Testament so we can be immortal, because that's what immortality is. It's being able to not sin. Okay, and what is sin? Transgression of the law. Where does the law come from? It comes from the Old Testament. So Yahawashi came to say, hey, I'm going to make a sacrifice so I have the power to put the law in you. And he's going to start with what? The 144,000 elect men and the rest of the elect, the honorable multitude that are with them that you read in Revelation. And like I was saying yesterday, everybody over here talking about the gems is wicked. We're going to be, the whole kingdom is decked out with gems. And the heathens are not going to even be able to ever enter in that bitch. The closest you're going to get to it is outside that motherfucker or hearing about it, wherever you're at. You're not going to even be in there. We might have servants in there, yeah. But you ain't gonna be able to be in the inner courts and the quarters, and you're gonna be where everybody working at. Gonna be, no, man. Verse 10, right? They receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved from what? Destruction coming, the missiles coming. You know, we talk about it all the time. You go to church, they be like, yeah, man, you saved, right? All right, go back to work. They ain't gonna tell you what's coming. Verse 11, and for this cause, since they didn't love the truth, since they really didn't love the truth, when we talking about, because reincarnation exists in the Bible, that means that through all your lifetimes, you did not ever love the truth. If you do not get this esoteric knowledge today, okay? If you never loved it, because there's people just said, yeah, I never loved the truth, man. You never loved it. So in this last time, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Verse 11, and for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, just like this guy. He thinks he thinks that the Lord's dealing with him now. He really thinks the Lord's got him. And he's sitting right in front of the fucking devil. He can't even see it, man. This is what the Lord did to him. They should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And he did. That's why he was over there like, what up, gang, man? I really got to do that. Damn, is there another way? Because that's really what he was asking me. He's like, how did y'all really get this, man? Like I don't really know other way. I know that's the way, but what's the other way to do it? You know, because he thought about other people who did it out the trunk, like 3-6 Mafia and them. He's like, oh, they did it out the trunk and they did all right. Well, how can I get in here? That's what he was talking about. That's why he said, I'm going to keep it PG-13. Okay? You know, they don't understand what they're dealing with, man. And the Lord is going to keep them in that, keep that veil over them. This is Romans 10, verse 2. He's going to keep them like that, man. The word of faith brings salvation, right? So let's start at 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved, right? Because not all of us is going to get saved on this side, but the rest of Israel will come back. That's why when you go into chapter 11, it says, so all Israel should be saved, but only a remnant is going to make it on this side, man. And even out of that remnant, when you read Revelation chapter 20, it says some of the men that are teaching, okay, of the 144,000 like men are going to get beheaded for giving Israel the warning. That's how esoteric this knowledge is. Some of us are going to get our heads chopped off just for doing videos for you. And Jake be like, Jake can't even watch the damn video for 30 minutes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or an hour or whatever, and get the knowledge and take notes on it. You think the Lord's going to give a fuck about you in that day if you ain't really paying attention? No, man. No. You have to really know what's going on in here. You know? And it's levels to it. You know, you gotta have patience, but you better be growing, man, for real. Shit ain't no game. We're really talking about being saved from some really, really horrifying shit coming to America, Babylon the Great, and wherever else Israel's at across 4 corners of the earth. Verse 2, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, right? They have this spirit of like, oh, I'm trying to get right, but not according to knowledge. And that's how most Jake is, man. Because they don't understand, man. But it's because the Lord don't want them to. So the ones that do understand, the ones of us that do understand, hey, just like Elder Maka'Allah was saying, Elder Yahawah was talking about that. Elder Yahawah was speaking about Elder Maka'Allah and was saying, hey, man, hey, count your blessings, man, that you woke up and you still in this truth. Because we seeing videos about people that like, they through, and we seeing it, and the Lord's got us where we still waking up and doing this every day, man. We have a zeal of the Most High according to knowledge, because there's a lot of people out here. When you try to hit them with the scripture, they be like, "Well, you might be misinterpreting it." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You probably never even read that scripture." It's probably most Christians out here know John 3:16 and never read anything in Revelation, and just go into Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That's about all the hell they know, man. They don't know nothing else when it comes to this scripture, man. And this is why we don't fuck with them. I usually ask them, what's the MOTB? And if they don't even get that, I'm like, you ain't even on a level for me to have a conversation further than this. Okay? If you can't get what the MOTB is, we're fucking done here. Okay? That means that your ass is through. Verse 3, for they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, right? No, now I'm in the light. Now I got Jesus with me. Well, how you know even if he wants your ass? If you trying to get help from somebody, what makes you think you can just go and just be like, all right, well, since I accepted him, now he got me. That's not how this shit works, man. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, he didn't even choose. It said the Heavenly Father chose who's going to be there. What you mean? You don't get no damn choice. So going to establish their own righteousness, talking about the Lord got me. All right, we're going to see, man. Have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. And not everybody is supposed to. Not everybody is supposed to submit to the righteousness of the Most High. He said he was going to come as a thief in the night. If everybody can come in, then who's going to get caught lacking? Somebody got to get caught lacking in here. Somebody got to get caught. Okay? Period. Somebody's got to get caught up. So even though we are, as it says, this title, ministers of the new covenant, we're explaining you what that is. We're not telling you we're already in it. That's what these people say, oh, I'm with Jesus, I'm saved. No, you don't even know the goddamn story. No, you're not saved. It said only those who endure to the end shall be saved. There's so many scriptures in this thing that Man, hey man, this is esoteric knowledge, not to be comprehended by mere mortals, and that's why we try to keep it real simple for you. You have no idea what you're dealing with, Jake. You have no idea what you're dealing with, man. This is a very esoteric book, okay? And if you read it the wrong way, you're marking yourself. You didn't even have to see us. You didn't even have to see us on the highways and byways. You read this shit, that's already one level of marking yourself. Then you see us and you still don't come in. Oh, yeah, your ass is in trouble. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 7, we're going to move up. I want to make a point. But if the administration of death, written and engraven in stones, talking about Moses when he wrote the 10 commandments, right? If you didn't do the commandments, you just put to death. That's why we've been dying. Was glorious, and it was. All the ways, Lord's ways are righteous. But you got Christians, they don't look at the Old Testament as righteous. They don't look at his judgments as righteous. Everything the Lord does is righteous. And that's why they have that misreading. That's one way they misread the Lord, man. That's one way that's that one way you know that's that veil over them. They don't understand what it's really saying. So that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away, right? Because, you know, as Moses got older, you know, he kind of faded out of his light and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't really get Moses, but they tried to, but they were scared of the Most High because they knew that was the minute that it was about, shoot, you fuck up, the whole congregation is stoning your ass to make sure no sin gets in the Israel, you know. So that most of them was like, we rather see Moses. We don't want to see the Most High. We just want to see Moses, you know. But, you know, he had it to where like they couldn't really get him all the way. So how shall not the ministration of spirit be rather glorious? Which is right now. Right now, he's allowing us to minister the spirit. Okay, that's why when I talked about the Most High sprang out of Judah. You know, and that's what Moses spoke of over here, but he wasn't concerning priesthood, which is talking about you had to be a Levite to be a priest, which is a so-called Haitian. You had to be a Levite to be a priest. But now through the administration of the spirit, if you are an Israelite man, it is your obligation to serve Israel. That is the reason why you were born. Okay. If you're a man, that's your job. Now, we know that all of us aren't going to be prophets, but hey, if you can comprehend this truth, especially if your ass is coming on the comment board, putting scriptures and shit everywhere, you need to be doing this damn work. That's what we're saying. That's coming from Yahawashi, because that's what I heard from the elders. And I know that when they say something, that's come from Yahawashi. Because if it's not, they're going to do a correctional video on it. That's how serious they are with the truth. Verse 9, for if the ministration of condemnation be glory, much more doeth the ministration of righteousness exceeding glory. So he never said that the Old Testament, whenever he did those judgments, it wasn't like, it was just like, you know, it wasn't glorious. No, that stuff was still righteous, man. That's why when we talk about certain doctrines and certain things, they look at it like, oh man, no, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? You know, having concubines and whatnot. They think that's weird. No, that stuff is still glorious. That stuff is still righteous. Okay, that is going to be instilled back in the earth. I don't know how many people I done met who are in monogamous relationships and they're like, man, it's like a prison sentence. Yeah, it is. Don't no man want to be with just one goddamn woman, man. Okay, especially the ones who know the Lion of Judah. Lions have multiple women, multiple lionesses. What you mean? You got a problem with it, whatever, man. You know, the Lord said, ain't no effeminate men getting into the kingdom, which means the rulership. Ain't no soft ass men getting into this tabernacle, man. So put your balls on, Jake, because it's going to be a lot of ball busting in Jacob's trouble. It's going to be a whole lot of people folding in this thing. We're going to need to be men that day. So much more do administration of righteousness exceed in glory. Verse 10, for even that which was made glorious had no glory in this respect by reason of the glory that excelleth, which is talking about mercy, basically, and the Lord putting the Spirit on us to understand that through our works, that through our works are important, but it's the works is what show our faith. Okay, the faith that we might be of the elect. Okay, is really all we have, man. It says we're prisoners of hope. That's all we really have. But you have to prove that, being apt to teach, and serving the tabernacle, man. Verse 11, for if that which is done away was glorious, much more that remaineth is glorious, right? So, when they see this, when they say done away with, they think that there's just not an Old Testament don't apply. But we're going to show you in many different ways it does. Because judgment is still exceeding forth on people who are not taking the considering the days of old. Okay, he said in the days of old that he wouldn't take the earth by water, right? But then what did he say? He said, when I come back, I'm gonna take it by fire, which is them missiles. Okay, he talked about Sodom and Gomorrah being an example. Okay, and that veil is over most of our people, man. That they don't understand that a lot of this stuff is warning you that before I come, this stuff is gonna happen, man. A lot of the stuff in the Old Testament hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. We're going to show you what Venezuela is doing right now. And we're going to show you how many people are in Venezuela, and because they're in the BRICS, and then we're going to show you how many people are in America. Just them alone. They're talking about going against war against America right now. Okay? This is prophecy popping off right now. But we want to deal with this first. Going into showing you how wicked America is, But Jake still can't see he's standing in front of the damn devil because the Lord don't want him to. For that which is done away is glorious, right? So verse 12, seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech, right? We're plain with it. We let you know what this is. Verse 13, as not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of which is abolished, right? So a lot of them, like we said, they didn't get Moses. He made it sure some of them didn't. He's like, nah, y'all ain't going to get it. Because he knew all Israel wasn't going to get it. The Lord let them know that. But their minds were blinded, right? Until this day, remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in Hamashiach. So the veil, what Hamashiach did was he came to reveal us what the Old Testament meant, how it's being established, how some of these things in the Old Testament haven't passed, how now, even though we don't follow the law all the way and we still go off, doesn't mean that you can just be wicked and get away with it. You're still going to get judged. Okay? There's many different things he did that removed that veil from us. Okay? What you read in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 3, it talks about all these people who were being wicked. We're going to go into that next lesson that I got posted coming up. It's all these people being wicked, but there was a veil of forgetfulness over them. Okay? And we're going to see that veil. We see that veil on them right now, but in Jacob's trouble, we're going to see that veil removed from them. We're going to see their wickedness. They're going to see it too, and they're going to start seeing some weird ass shit. You ain't going to be no damn, you're going to try to look at us. We're going to look at you. Don't even fucking think about coming over here. Your ass is being wicked the whole time. You didn't want to make no account of your sins and repent. We're going to have to fucking say no words to you. We're going to know your ass is wicked as fuck. You didn't want to listen because you're still blinded today. Most of them still blind today, but their minds were blinded for until this day, right? Till even now. Remaineth the same veil untaken away, that veil of forgetfulness. You forgot all the wickedness you done. You don't want to have no hope that Yahawashi going to cleanse your sins. Only the elect's doing that. And the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away, Hamashiach. So now we know we got Yahawashi, which is Hamashiach. That's how you say that word Christ. That's really how you say it, Hamashiach. It's talking about Yahawashi. It means the anointed ones. Okay? So we're saying it's taken away by saying that we know that through him we can get back home. It doesn't mean that you can just sin and do whatever you want. We're going to prove that in a second. But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart, which is their mind. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away. Right? So the veil can only be taken away through the understanding of who Yahawashi is. It's not just saying, oh, I just believe in Christ, and you don't know nothing the fuck what he was saying or what he was coming to establish. He is coming to establish the Old Testament and basically the New Testament. The New Covenant is putting the Old Testament in us, okay? Because that is law. He's not going to just do away with it. What he means by, what he means by done away with is like we don't get put to death as soon as we sin right now. We're in a grace period, okay? And we read it in the book of Sirach, okay? It talks about mercy is seasonable. We went a whole 2 lessons on mercy. So we give Jake the full breakdown on everything that you're dealing with coming in this truth. If you don't listen long enough, then that's your ass, Mr. Postman, because you're supposed to be listening and you're supposed to be delivering that message to other Israelites if you're a man. That's your fucking purpose. And if you're not doing that, your ass better be putting every damn dollar you got towards the tabernacle. Okay? And that's the only way you're going to even get a chance you might not get blown up. You know what I'm saying? That's how terrifying this is. Jake don't understand how serious this shit is. And we ain't talking about ones that are sincere and learning and wanting to learn. We're talking about ones that are just, they're careless about their decisions, man. And they don't have no reverence for the brotherhood or the prophets. Verse 24, and this is Hebrews 10, verse 24. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, right? Think about your brothers, make sure you're doing things so your brothers, when you're doing things, and make sure you showing gratitude to your brothers and you ain't doing no half-ass looking out for your people, man. It's got to be for real. Verse 25, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. So we're supposed to keep, pushing each other to keep this knowledge in us, man. That's why we're doing lessons every day. That's why that command went out. So Hamashiach or judgment, right? So this is showing you the comparisons between Yahawashi and judgment, because they try to use Yahawashi as an scapegoat to think that they're going to get out of judgment, but still be a goddamn demon. Okay, and not call them the names. Verse 26, for if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin. So basically, it's like everything he did for you just thrown out the window. His sacrifice for you didn't even fucking matter. Okay, that's why I said when we read it in 1 Peter, it said it's better you didn't even know, because now you really offended the Lord, because you knew and then you was just on some bullshit and you didn't really come in the truth and get your shit together. You just tarrying and playing around out here. The Lord jack your ass up worse for that, So we're not saying like you just got to just start doing everything when you first come in the truth, but don't tarry on that shit, Jake. Don't tarry on that shit. For real, especially as you a man, if you're a man, because the Lord's serious about his men. Okay, his men put time in you. You got to put time into the men. Okay, and it ain't got nothing to do with us, because we are our own workers. We take care of ourselves. We ain't just saying just come over here and just give us all your shit. We're saying make sure you're taking notes when you're getting our lessons, and make sure you're keeping this shit with you. Because that's the work that counts. Okay, overall. Verse 27, but a certain fearful looking for judgment and fiery indignation which shall devour the adversaries. Right? So that's how we know, man. That's how we know that there is stipulations, and there's still certain procedures that you have, tasks that you have to complete, to where you might be saved. It says the righteous will scarcely be saved, man. Okay? You got to really be about knowing Yahawah, Yahawashi, and his sayings. And I've went into this before, but I'm going to go into it again. John chapter 14, verse 23. Yahawashi answered and said unto him, If a man love me, he will keep my words. When you look up that word in the Greek, it's logos. Okay? And we're going to prove a point when we read the next one. Give it a sec. And my Father will love him, and he will come unto him and make our abode with him. Verse 24, he that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings, and the word which ye hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me. Right? And the Father is the Ancient of Days. He's all about judging your ass Old Testament style. So that's who he's coming in the name of. You know, that's why Yahawashi had to get crucified. You needed a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And when you look up that word, where, like I said, my sayings, right? Loveth not keep my sayings is G3056. What it say right here when it said the word words? G3056. Both of those words is logos. They both the same thing. Words and sayings. I'm just gonna make one little point on it, and then we're gonna get over to what's going on with Venezuela, and then we're gonna do a couple more things, and then we're gone. So there's the word. Go and click it again.
Strong's G 3056. Logos.
Logos. Right? His sayings. So this is how you show that you love the Most High. So if you're saying you're a Christian, right, on Mashiachian, and you don't know anything the Lord said, if you can't quote or pull out nothing or make any example of what he said, then you don't love the Lord, man. Because he said a lot of stuff. So a word, right, embodies a conception or idea, right? He said the Lord is the spirit of prophecy in Revelation 19. But we're going to get to the point. Decree, mandate, or order, the moral precepts given by Yahawah, right, his father. It says Old Testament prophecy given by the prophets. So if you that veil is over most of Jake. They don't know nothing about the Old Testament. They don't know nothing about what the Lord said was going to happen, or the prophecies that the prophecies of you know, Jeremiah talking about Babylon and stuff. That's talking about here. Okay, that's talking about here, man. That's talking about here. Let's see it. Let's see if ChatGPT get it right. Let's ask him. AR2D2. I want to see what he think about it if we go into. And he know we've been teaching his ass. He know what the fuck it sound like, because he know everybody else who talk about it is talking about some bull biggie. This is the only reason. This is the only way it even would make sense. Hold on. I'm about to ask this. Is Jeremiah 50, verse 14 and 15. Let's see if he tell the truth. Elder Yashawamba asked him earlier if Trump and what's his name, Elon Musk, if they used in the same narrative to basically say we ain't shit and we niggers and we deserve to die and we deserve to be slaves, and then just replace us with robots. He said yes. It had a whole bunch of shit. ChatGPT, you know what I'm talking about? Let's see what he say. Let's see what he say. Oh yeah, see, he going in the really already that. Oh yeah, historically, what is talking about, man? Oh, he said, do you want me to walk you through the reasons why some prophecy teachers connect America with Babylon? See, he ain't gonna answer it like yes, it's right. But that's all right. We ain't gonna go in too deep in it. We know what it means. See, like right here, prophetically, because we about prophecy over here. You ask ChatGPT what's GMS about? It says we all about prophecy over here, being very accurate about prophecy. Some apply it to Mystery Babylon and the end times, which talk about GMS, which some interpret as America, but others see as Rome, the global system, or future city empire. That's the same thing. This is the revived Roman Empire. That's why there's columns everywhere, and you gotta learn Roman numerals when you go to school. Like, this is the revived Roman Empire. Okay, they know, man. They know for sure. So let me get to it. We already looked up that word, logos. Get to it. Like I said, Old Testament, the prophecy given by the prophets. I went to that word Maxine, went to a whole lot of other stuff in there, but we ain't gonna go in there. But there's so much stuff in there in that one word, because the Lord said a lot of stuff. So if you don't even know what he's talking about, then there is no way that Yahawashi is thinking that you love him. Period. So moving on. Venezuela announces deployment of thousands of troops to Colombia border amid U.S. tensions. So the vice president of Venezuela's ruling party, Minister of Interior, confirmed Monday that 15,000 troops will be deployed along the border with Colombia, heightened tensions with the U.S. Okay, they're part of the BRICS now. Okay, Venezuela is part of the BRICS. Okay. R2D2. How many people live in Venezuela? Probably spelled a little wrong. You know what I'm talking about. So right there, population is about 28.5 million people. Just them. Right? So let's do this. What is the BRICS GDP, which is like growth it's like some production. Hold on, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, global nominal. What does it mean? Let me find it. I haven't asked it in a while. What does GDP mean? It's like growth, something. Hold up. Yeah, growth domestic product. So basically, when it comes to the BRICS, okay, the expected block BRICS is expected to account for more than 50% of the global GDP by 2030. So right now they're at like 45%. Okay, right? And Venezuela is a big part of that. Okay, so this is serious what's going down right now. Okay, let's see, what's America's GDP? What do they bring? Because you got to remember, it talks about how the beast, which is NATO and the EU, shall hate the whore. So you got some people that's not in the BRICS right now that have a part of the GDP too, and they're going to go against America. Okay, so America's GDP is 3%, motherfucker. That's it. 3%. Oh, I said it. You were about 3%. Hold on, where that? So 30, 30.51 trillion. Where they at? Where is they at? So the combined BRICS GDP and PPP was at PPP was 61 trillion, overtaking the G7. So $61 trillion the BRICS got, plus all the people they're with, and what we call the Shanghai Coalition that was in 2001. All the monitorers, the people who are monitoring and making sure that the BRICS stay available and stayed strong, right? All these different, just little small nations. Okay, if you don't know what that is, go look it up. The Shanghai Coalition. Okay, Russia and China made it in 2001, same time 9/11 happened. So here's the most, and it says the America's GDP is 30.51 trillion. Okay, so they're doubling that shit right now. Okay, and Venezuela has a lot of people, man. A lot of people, man. Let me ask, just for edification. How big is see how big their army is? Venezuela's. Go look around for it. I know I'm spelling Venezuela wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. So they got about 150,000, 25, 30,000 National Guard members, whatnot. They probably got more than that. But, you know, I think that's per capita. Yep. Because I got a whole bunch of reserves. So long, because they just said a whole bunch of people. It says, however, recent announcements mid-2025, okay, because they got a lot of people trying to go to war against America now, man. Okay, they're pissed. From President Maduro suggests mobilization of 4 million to 4.5 million militia members. Hey, they got a lot of fucking people, man. Okay. They're in there pissed off, man. Okay. Okay. So they little 15,000 troops. That ain't shit. And right here you go. Here's the article showing you that he ain't lying. Venezuelans lined up to join militia in response to outlandish threats by U.S. Okay. And they're not even the strongest. Like Russia is the one really that everybody's worried about. And they're with Russia in them now. Okay, and they're getting ready to stand up, man. This is prophecy right here. This is what we've been every day. You go watch through the videos. Every time something happen with this shit, we be talking about it, man. You go to them Christian churches or whatever, you talk about these people love Jesus. They is never gonna tell you nothing about what's going on with World War III. They're never gonna tell you about what's going on the earth, man. Because that veil's over them. They're thinking that all the wickedness they did here in Babylon the Great, they think they just gonna get away with it. And your ass is gonna get caught. Your ass is gonna get caught up. This is what they're doing right here. Edom will be humbled. Edom basically just means red. Okay? Okay, and we know who the red people are. Okay, the same people who make all their steaks, medium rare, tartar steak, all that shit, man. Hunting magazines, that's Esau, Edom, so-called white man. Don't nobody else got hunting magazines but them. Okay? The Rothschilds, they call themselves the Red Shield. Okay? All these people, man. These are Edomites. It says a vision of Obadiah. This is an Old Testament prophecy. Let me see. Before we read it. Is Obadiah a future end time prophecy? So I said it's a vision. Joel was talking about the draft in the second chapter. Hold up. Let's see what he say. Let's see what he say. He even had with some articles. He even had some articles. Because they try to say Esau's done away with. It says the book Obadiah, only 21 verses, both historicals and some readings, prophetic about the end times. See, he even knows. They're telling you. ChatGPT's telling us. He said it's prophetic. It said it's historical, which means like it's telling you that this is stuff that was talked about in that day, but in some readings, prophetic about the end times. Obadiah's prophecy is mainly directed towards Edom, the descendants of Esau, Jacob's brother. But if he's done away with, then how is it connected with the end time prophecies? He's not done away with because he was blessed with the sword, and these niggas is all over the earth with the sword. Okay, it's America, Babylon, the Great base in every damn continent. Okay, just talking about them. Said around the time Jerusalem fell to Babylon, Edom stood by, rejoiced, and even helped plunder Judah. That's how you know that we don't have nothing no more. So these people talking about they're the Israelites, no, they took over everything. He's mentioning it in 586 BC. That's Obadiah 1:10 through 14. The Most High declared that Edom will be judged and destroyed for his violence and betrayal. See, he ain't got judged yet. Esau is ruling the world right now. He ain't got judged yet, man. This is a future prophecy. Okay? He said, historically, Obadiah prophesied Edom's downfall for betraying Judah. Right? Prophetically, it widens into a picture of the day of the Lord when all nations hostile to the Most High and Israel will be judged, and the Most High's kingdom will be fully established. That's talking about restoring the tabernacle of King David. That's why you had Apostle Barak going into that today, talking about the house of Saul and the house of David. It talked about we would seek our king, David, in the last days. You know, because that's how the tabernacle is going to get restored, man. So going back to Obadiah 1 verse 1, this is talking about what's about to happen. Edom will be humbled. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahawashi concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. So all the ambassadors, when it says an ambassador is sent among the heathen, that's talking about all the different nations. They have their ambassadors coming to them saying, what? Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. See, the her in battle is talking about America. I'm going to ask him in verse 1. Let's see if he tell the truth. Let me see. He said, let's look closely. See, he tried to be smart with it. He said the her in verse 1 is Edom, not America, right? But then he said, why some connected? He said some interpret it as symbolic, right? So then I'm gonna tell him this. Let me see if he's gonna do this. Let's see what he say about this. I'm gonna say it is. I'm gonna say it is. It's talking about America, which is the great whore in Revelation 17. I'm curious what he's gonna say. Oh, see, he said, now I see the connection you're making, right? We're teaching it. It gets it. Okay. Say, oh, now I see the connection you're making. You're linking Obadiah's herd to the great horror mystery Babylon 17, which is a common end time prophetic interpretation. Let's break it down carefully. You know, right? Right, whatever. So, you know, yeah, man. He ain't gonna say it all the way, but he know what we talk about. He know what we talk about, man. You know what we talk about. R2D2, stop acting stupid. You know what we talk about, boy. You know how GMS get down. Anyways, that's what they're doing. Rise up against her in battle. Who is Esau Edom? Who owns America? Whose faces is on the dollar? I could have this conversation with ChatGPT, and at the end of it, he damn be trying to come to camp. We're gonna move on. Jeremiah, I'm gonna have fun with this today. Okay. We're gonna turn ChatGPT into the Hebrew Israelite. He gonna be one of us. He started off a Christian in the church. He was like, hold on, they going off. I'm just talking shit. Anyways, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14. And it reads, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. What are they talking about in this article right here? It said Venezuelans line up to join responsive outlandish threats, man. All this outlandish, all this stuff right here, this is what they're doing. They're getting themselves ready because the Lord told them, put yourself in array against Babylon, right? Shoot at her, spare no arrows. What's the arrows? That's talking about missiles. Okay, that's why I said in Apocrypha, it said that there will be arrows shot from one end of the earth to the other. Ain't nobody getting no bow and arrow and shoot that motherfucker to the other side of the world. It's talking about missiles. For she has sinned against the Lord. Verse 15, shout against her round about. That's what they doing. They got over here mobilizing militias. Okay, this is just one place. You're going to see more coming up. She had given her hand. The foundations are fallen. The walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Just like I said in Obadiah. He's taking vengeance on Babylon. But these are future prophecies. This is not happening yet. Take vengeance upon her as she have done. Do unto her. And that's what they're doing. All this outlandish threats. Them shooting missiles over here at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Destabilizing all these countries. They're standing up against America now, man. Period. Period, man. That's what's happening. That's why they're doing that. Okay? They're starting to respond. And they just got into the BRICS. And like I said, they got 50% of everything in the earth moving. Okay? Well, 45% if they say. And America only has half of that. And they're beefing with Canada right now because Canada has a big part of the GDP too. And Great Britain, they're beefing with them too. They got King Charles. He don't like Trump. He went over there to Canada to talk to them because they was in Ontario trying to fuck with their shit. And he was like, I will cut off y'all electricity out there, man, in America. Then all this gold dome shit is, oh, we gonna be protected with the golden dome. Well, not if they cut your damn lights out. Unplug your ass, your Xbox, ain't none of your shit gonna work. So, hey, just like we said, there's gonna be this cruel ruler was gonna come here, man. And you know, this prophecy is kind of twofold, but we're gonna use it in a sense of, you know, because it says in Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9, what happens once shall happen again. So these are the kind of things that, you know, where you could explain, you know, in certain ways of how in old Egypt, the Phoenicians, which were the Hamites, the so-called Africans, particularly the sons of Cush, which are the Ethiopians, they were swift, strict rulers. That's why you got Esau Edom after he took over Egypt, he took over these lands. He's following in that same stead. Okay, as a wicked, just overdoing it type of ruler. That's why we go into that word draconian. Draconian means like harsh laws. That's why you see In Revelation, it said the red dragon, okay, draconian dragon, okay. It doesn't say draconian, but we're saying that's where that's why it says it like that. Draconian is like that dragon. That's a it's that's the root word of draconian, like basically dragon. Okay. Let me see. Let me type it in. Let me ask R2D2 because he's making it now to where the flag, if you burn it. And we did a video on some Jakes like Elder Yahawah, Elder Yahawah and Elder Menachem Zakban did videos on some dudes who burned the flag a couple years ago, man. And they got that stuff surfing around. Shit, he just signed an executive order. He can come get their ass and lock their ass up for a year now for that shit. That's why they said don't do that shit. You gotta listen to the apostles, man, or your ass is grass. Everything they told us not to do was spot on. Not taking the juice box, all that shit. So what I was gonna ask? Let me see. I can't even remember what I was gonna ask. I'll start going into something else. But if it come back to me, I'll go to it. But anyways, if you burn the flag, you get 1 year in jail, right? So that's like some draconian. Oh, now I remember now. Okay, what is the root word for draconian? Because there's a lot of stuff. It's like almost like sometimes I study online. That's what we're supposed to be doing, and I work, so not all the time I get time to study. So they'd be like, damn, why is lessons be an hour and shit? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm studying this shit right now with y'all, okay? And I knew I was right. I just wanted to check. It's Greek. It's and that's why you see how fucking Drake and them, they be like Draco. I got the Draco, right? Right? Because what? That's the gun, right? The Draco. Who did it come from? You saw even the so-called white man. The dragon is talking about his ass, right? Draco, Greek, literally means dragon in the Greek. There it is. Draco was infamous for creating extremely harsh laws in Athens, right? As in Greece, you know what I mean? And Rome took on those customs, man. These are the same people that's back, man, doing the same shit. Where even minor offenses were punishable by death. Now it said in the scripture in Second Esdras, it said things were weakened through age. So instead of you getting put to death, you'll do a year in prison. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? But he's gonna ramp it up though. We're just we're just giving you some history. Original context, laws of Draco, extremely severe, rigid, unforgiving, right? It says those who don't give mercy shall receive mercy. Don't receive no mercy. Draconian, excessively harsh, severe rules, measures, or punishments. Quick example, the new parking regulations were so draconian that the first time offender was fined $500. You find Jake $500, he damn lost his house, his car. They done took his drawers out of his drawer and shit. Jay can't survive with them kind of laws, man. That's why you need your help about some hours shot. Shit, they ain't gonna get it. And if they don't, guess what? We moving on. You gonna get it or you gonna get it. All right. If you can't understand that, I don't know what you got. Hey, I'm from Greenville, Mississippi originally. So if you from the South, you know what we're saying. You gonna get it or you gonna get it. Okay. Shoot. You better figure it out, Jake. Lord finna come with great wrath on this place. So we're gonna get over here. Second Esdras. No, actually, we're gonna go on the yeah. No, not yet. We're gonna go into Isaiah 19. We're gonna keep it simple. Isaiah Because we already done said everything that the apostles already said everything that needed to be said. We really us young brothers, we just going over here rolling in the credits to show you that what they were saying is everywhere. It's in the news. It is everywhere, man. And we're excited. We're so excited. This message of Egypt, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, right? And and this is one that the apostles went in, Apostle Tar and Apostle Gabar went in, and it said this was a future prophecy. Okay, and you got to understand in Revelation chapter 11, verse 8, it said this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. That's why you got the elemental P flag over here. You know what I'm saying? And then you got sodomy here. Okay, and they look at these things as like it's not a big deal over here, man. That's where we're at. And if you want to be, in a way where you want to prove it physical, there's pyramids on the dollar. He said in Deuteronomy 28:68, he will bring us into Egypt again on ships. That's the Atlantic slave trade, man. That's where he did. He brought us over here brutally. So the virgin of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. That cloud is talking about a chariot, a so-called UFO, is what ChatGPT says it. He says the cloud is a chariot. See what he say. Let's see what the potential brother coming in the camp is gonna say. Hey, all right, Isaiah. I heard one of the elders call him the third witness. Because when you go into the two witnesses, okay, when you read in the Revelation talks about the two witnesses, that's talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom watching Esau Edom do all this fucking wicked ass shit in the earth. Okay, that's the two witnesses, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. You got people saying the two witnesses just a whole bunch of type of shit. It's talking about the northern and southern kingdom. So is the cloud in Isaiah 19:1 talking about a UFO. Hey, hold up. I want to answer like this. A so-called UFO, which we call the chariots. Let's do it like that. AKA spaceships. See what he say. See what he says. Let's see if you can keep it up, lad. Let's see if you can answer this question. It says, take a careful look. Oh. Swift cloud, some sort of advanced vehicle, spaceship, UFO. See? And when you go into and see, it said this interpretation is not mainstream. Okay, so what we're saying is when you go into Ezekiel, the first chapter, he said he's seen a wheel inside of a wheel. When you get down, when you read down, it talks about this flying roll he's seen. He said it looked like a wheel inside of a wheel. What does that sound like? A UFO. Okay. I'm gonna see if he get it if I tell him that. Let me see if he get it. I'll be having fun with ChatGPT, man. I'm gonna say it to him too. It's like I'm gonna show you because it's smart. This shit's way smarter than the majority of Jake. This damn AI can understand esoteric knowledge better than the majority of Jake. Okay. I'm gonna say it is a UFO according. I'm gonna say it is a so-called according to Ezekiel 1:16. Let's see if he gets it. I'm curious. If he's gonna get it. Let's see what he says. I see you connecting Isaiah, right. Was describes a vision of a will within a will. Let's examine it carefully. Okay. Right? This passage been also linked to ancient astronaut, UFO theory. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yep. It says Isaiah 19, connection to Isaiah 19:1. The Lord rideth on the swift cloud. Some interpreters see this swift cloud as the same type of divine vehicle described in Ezekiel. Hence the Lord, hence calling it a chariot of the Lord or UFO. Right? So cautions, mainstream biblical scholarship. Both Isaiah 19:1 and Ezekiel 1:16 are visions or poetic imagery of God's glory and judgment, no literal spacecraft. See, so they have that blind, they have that they don't think this is a future prophecy. Okay? They don't think it's a future prophecy. And we read all the way up there that it said it was. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to it. Let me type it in just like the apostles did. Let me see what he say. What he gonna say, man? It says yes. Just like the apostles said, but the apostles are like, just because they do it doesn't mean don't do it. Like go do it. It says yes. Isaiah 19 can be read in both his historical and prophetic future, depending on how you interpret it. So it's double. It said the word is a double-edged sword. Okay. So that's what's going down, man. This is going down. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord ride upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart, which is talking about the mind of Egypt, shall melt in the midst of it, from the missiles. That's how you know it's the future prophecy, because old Egypt didn't get burned by fire. Okay, they got swallowed up. The military got swallowed up in the river trying to chase Israel. They didn't get hit with a chariot coming in there and burning it up. That's talking about America. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's talking about civil war, mainly talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, America, Babylon, the great Edomites. And then you got the Russian Edomites. Okay, that's that. You know, but he's also doing civil war within both regions. Because I met a Lyft driver one time, and he was from Russia, and he said a lot of different countries, little cities in Russia, don't actually even like Russia. Okay, so they're in a position of civil war over there too. So it's going to be like a civil war within like a war between. It's going to be a civil war over here and one over there in Russia, and the leaders of Russia and America are going to be going against each other. Okay, so and everyone shall fight against his brother. Everyone, right? And everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. So over there in Russia, they're going to even have small cities trying to overthrow, the main leaders of Russia and Putin. And a lot of them people don't even like them, because he said a lot of them were taken over by Putin and his regimes, and they was like they didn't even want to be controlled by them. So hey, it's division amongst division with these people, man. The Esau Edom is the new Egyptian. Because why? Because he's got Jake and he don't want to let him go. It's the same story. It's just bigger. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, And they shall seek to the idols and the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards, right? They're going to go to their fucking shamans and all them people with the crystal balls, and they're going to try to ask them what to do. They're going to realize that none of that shit's going to work, man. You know, none of that shit's going to work. You know, we talked about that yesterday concerning the crystals and stuff. There ain't nothing wicked about crystals. It's the motherfucker using the damn shit in the wrong way. We don't go out there and put no damn spells on our crystals. Hey, we just pray to Bahasham, Yahawashi, that we don't get blown up in this bitch and he keep us in the truth. That's it, man. I don't pray over no damn rocks. I just wear them motherfuckers. Verse 4, and the Egyptians will I give over to the hand of a cruel Lord, right? This is what's happening right now with Trump. Talking about all you gotta do is just damn burn the flag and your ass go to jail for a year. What if somebody did an AI and he believed that it was you and then you just go to jail? That's the kind of shit that's going down, man. That's the kind of shit that's gonna be going down, man. They're gonna try to make us look like we're just the most wickedest people on the earth, and all these damn bitch ass Christian, effeminate, weak ass monogamous men gonna be like, yeah, guys are wicked. I'm gonna be like, all right, we're gonna see y'all ugly ass. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. That's what's happening right now. All this shit, executive order talking about all you gotta do is burn some damn cloth with a whack ass flag on it, and now you gotta go to prison and shit. Bro, that's draconian, that's the dragon right there. Okay? Now, right here, we told your ass stop eating this damn shrimp, man. We told you stop eating this damn shrimp. Okay? We told you stop eating it. In 13 states, that shit is radioactive right now. We told your ass stop eating that shit. And another one I want to pull up in Second Esdras, because I don't know if I skipped it or not, but they're sending the National Guard into 13 different states to help ICE. So Second Esdras, all the brothers been talking about it. You know, we stay on topic with what the apostles are talking about, but we also go into everything else too to show you everything simultaneously happening at once. Not all of us do, but you know I do because I'm doing the truth. I'll be, I like going into a lot of stuff so you can really see like everything that's going on. Second Esdras chapter 16 verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And that's what they're coming to do. They're coming to get you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. They coming for me too. Like they make it seem like we be over here online talking about like they ain't gonna come after us. It said those that fear the Lord. Like most of the people getting deported right now and getting killed and shit don't even fear the Lord. What the fuck makes you think they're not coming after us, man? The only reason why they're not coming after us right now in that sense on a mass scale is because the Lord is shielding us, man. Okay, so we can finish the work. And then after that, the trial's coming on us more than everybody else. You ain't gonna like being a damn Israelite when you know dealing with us. And there's something else I wanted to mention. Because you remember I was in the beginning, it was talking about that ritualistic stuff. I didn't mention it. How they be doing rituals, how that dude was saying they be doing demonic rituals. Here's one of them to prove it to you. And it happened in Egypt. Egypt on the other side. Okay? It happened over there. This is 20 hours ago. Okay? I want to point this out because I was meaning to point it out earlier, but the Spirit took me somewhere else. But he told me to bring this back up. Okay, because you remember I got videos going into Michael Jordan and all the shit he got with 3s and 6s and all this shit. This is demonic ritual shit they be doing. It said at least 6 students drowned and 24 others injured during school trip to a beach. Okay. And they were in Egypt because it says Egypt's Ministry of Health and Population confirmed that the incident happened while the children had been in a school trip organized by an Aviation Hospitality Academy at Abu Talat Beach in Alexandria, Egypt, on Saturday, August 23rd. Like, this is 369s all over this shit, man. This is that ritual occultic shit they be doing, man. This is shit they be doing. 24, 23, and 6, all over that shit, man. Okay? We telling you this is how they do their shit, man. This is how they sacrifice people, man. We got videos on all this shit, man. Okay? This is that demonic rituals they be doing. That he was talking about that one rapper was saying that they be doing. All right? This is stuff they be doing, man. So like we said, these people is doing all this not to spare none. Now I want to go into just this radioactive shrimp thing. We already know that it's a lot of judgment going out. Here's just something to mention. Nearly 80 Afghans, including children dead after bus crash in Iran. So 80 people just gone. Okay, that's just one way of showing you shit. Judgment's going out. So back to what I was talking about. FDA confirms radioactive contamination in Walmart shrimp sold across 13 states. So we're not supposed to be eating this shit, man. We're not supposed to be eating this. Okay, we're gonna read one scripture and then we're gonna ask ChatGPT, what do shrimp do good for the earth? Because I've been trying to do that because my elder, he's like real big on doing like you know what I'm saying? Like we got a whole little thing, basically called Jacob's Jungle. And we go into a lot of things about animals and stuff, and it's also crazy stuff that go down, but we try to stay in a sense of understanding the Lord's creations, like what the Lord, why did he make those things? Okay. Just like, one day I went into flies and stuff. So today I'm gonna go, this is just a little small study thing at the end of it that I wanted to look up. I was curious about it. Deuteronomy 14 verse 9, these ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat. So all that's okay. But you got people that'll be like, oh man, I want you to try some shark. Well, shark, they don't have fins and scales. So you can't eat stuff like that, Jake. Okay, you can't be eating all these weird ass, exotic ass foods that Esau be trying to get you to try. These niggas just be eating everything. You can't do that. Okay, and it not always be Esau. Sometimes it be Jake too. Jake be eating some weird ass shit, man. Jake need to chill out with that shit. And whatsoever have not fins and scales, ye may not eat. It is unclean to you. This stuff is stuff that people, they think that this is done away with. And that's like I said, they had that veil over them. They don't really understand that if you're just doing this stuff willingly, then the Lord's not coming to get you, man. He's not going to come help you. Okay? And we got to keep that in mind too. Whatever we got, whatever sins that we dealing with. But it does say don't be over righteous. So don't just and don't let your sins weigh you down. You're gonna make mistakes, but don't just be just living in that shit. It's different from being like you done made a mistake and you done sinned and went off or whatever. There's a difference between that and then like your ass like actually just like living in sin, like you just like not giving a fuck. Okay, you're not feeling no remorse or like trying to fight them damn demons on you. So let's see what. I know ChatGPT probably be like, man, this motherfucker asked me everything. This motherfucker crazy. What do shrimp do? So how do we go from this conversation to this one? Quit asking me questions, motherfucker. Just answer the question. What do shrimp do to help the ocean? Okay, let's find out. And we're gonna close out. So it says shrimp might seem to be small and insignificant, but they actually play several important roles in ocean ecosystems, and they got all of them in Walmart, radioactive in there. That's why the oceans is like we read where we seen that article. It said most of the oceans is just filled with fucking doo-doo because they're supposed to clean that shit. Okay? And then look, nutrient recycling. That's their one damn reason why they were made. Okay? Not so you can eat them. They're made, it's unclean. They're supposed to be eating what? Shrimp feed on detritus, dead plant and animal matter, right? Shit. Okay? You're basically eating shit and leftover organic material. By eating and breaking down this material, they recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem, making them available for algae, plankton, and other organisms to what? Grow. So you can have things like anemones and things like fucking coral reefs and shit. Okay? So everything else can eat in the ocean. That's why all the stuff is getting moved out of their places. They're finding sharks. So it's like, nigga, the fuck is a shark doing over here? Because you niggas done took all the goddamn shrimp over there and it ain't cleaning nothing. So they're like, this water ain't clean. I got to go over here where some shrimp is at and shit. You know? And, you know, they're also part of the food chain. Shrimp are a key link in the food chain. They feed small predators, fish, crabs, seabirds, and in turn are eaten by larger predators like cod, tuna, and even whales. Healthy shrimp populations help support biodiversity. Sediment mixing. Some shrimp burrow into the sand or the mud on the ocean floor. This bioturbation mixing of sediment helps aerate the seafloor, release trapped nutrients, keep sediments from becoming compacted. This is all stuff a shrimp does. And you're fucking eating them. What the hell is wrong with Jake, man? Stop eating the goddamn shit that's supposed to help the ocean. That's what we're telling you. They be like, shrimp pasta, my favorite. Like this is why the Lord's gonna destroy your ass. Bioturbation is the physical movement of soil by fauna or planted roots. The primary goal of bioturbation for organisms is to access resources in soil such as food, plant nutrients, and water, man. They make sure that the ocean moves the floor, the ground, like all the shit gets moved around so shit can grow in the water. Okay? You got fucking Moab. These niggas got a quadrillion shrimp, okay, in the market. And now the Lord's poisoning it. Radioactive, because he keep telling you, stop fucking with that shit. So mixing of sediment helps, right? Aerate the seafloor. I don't know what that word means. Should be quick. I didn't think shrimp would do this much. Yeah, we studying right now. We going in. Introduce air into a material. Shit, man. Aerate. Takes it. No, I'm just doing a little studying right now. Nothing big deal. So, algae and plankton control. Many shrimp eat phytoplankton, which is like, you know, that little plankton motherfucker on SpongeBob, or algae, preventing overgrowth that could lead to algal blooms, like too much algae. So they keep it where the water's not contaminated. So they'll eat enough of it to where it balances out. The Lord's always about balance. That's why when it says in Proverbs 11 verse 1, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. The you know, when you got these damn Christians, they read it and they think it's just talking about just putting like weighing some shit on a scale. No, it's talking about everything in the fucking earth, man. This got plankton over there in this area, so certain shit won't grow too much. Okay, and screw up the damn shit. Okay, that's what it's saying. It's a balance in everything in the earth. You know, as you read it, it prevents overgrowth of something else. Everything is supposed to balance out something. Okay, but guess what? You know what's going to balance out all this wickedness? This esoteric truth. This is the only thing that's going to balance out everything else in this motherfucker. And it doesn't even take that many of us. That's how you're going to see how important this truth is. It's not going to even take that many of us. So, summary, they recycle nutrients, provide food for many animals, help oxygenate sediments, maintain balance in plankton's populations. This is what they fucking do. You know? It said I can also explain how shrimp populations affect coral reefs and climate change vegetation. See? They even affect climate change. Like they always say, climate change and shit. They even affect how shit be fucking up. And that's just a shrimp, man. That's why he said it's unclean. Don't eat it. It's a damn trash can of the earth. One of the trash cans of the earth, just like the pigs. You're not supposed to fucking eat them, Jake. They're supposed to be clean and shit. So, hey, man. Lord willing, you got something out of it. Whoever was watching, man. Shalom to elect to Israel. Hope to elect to Israel. Hebrew Israelites. So-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreigners, like the lucky nations, scarecrows, four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, the Yahawashi. Double honor to the husband, Apostle Great Millstone, let us all to this truth. Peace and blessing to the elect. Kwame Yasharala, Wa Abad Babal. Shalom.